Welcome, once again, to a series I've yet to name as of these recordings. I'm sure they'll have something by the time they go up on YouTube. But for now, we'll just call it Hooky Distills Your Favorite Mario Character in Tennis. And today's subject is none other than Kamek, the worst character in the game. That's pretty unanimous. I'm trying to think of a single person that might disagree, and I don't know of anyone who might disagree with that statement that has played the game for more than 2 seconds, and you're about to find out why. I think it would be obvious to any beginner, anybody that has ever seen the sport of tennis. I think they would be able to see why this character is pretty bad. So, let's get right into it. And of course, I will be playing against some bots. It doesn't matter who. We'll just, we'll go for... let's just do Bowser. Why not? It's a canon matchup, right? Definitely not going to get any mileage out of picking Bowser for any particular reason. And let's just go to somewhere like, say... We can just go to grass. That's the fastest court there is. So, why is Kamek so bad? But first, before we answer that, let's talk about what he does. As soon as we get this started, skip the introductions. So, the first thing to know about Kamek is that Kamek has curves on his shot. On both of his slice... Oh god, okay, no, we're good. On both his slice and his topspin. So there's the slice, there's the topspin. So, dual curves. Pretty cool, right? Kamek would theoretically be able to mix his opponent up and make it very hard for them to guess what he's gonna do. In addition to his dual curves, Kamek can also, Kamek floats, which means whenever I start charging up for a shot, I will just naturally gravitate towards the ball. Of course, I gotta be careful. If Bowser ever does a single tap, or just does an angle, I will have to, cancel that shot. But in most cases, I will sit here, charge it early. Got a little too greedy with that one. Now it's not gonna go out, fortunately. The CPU is kind enough to send it back in. Thank you, Bowser. You're the best, boss. But yeah, I'll be able to charge for most shots. And if I'm playing standard, this is good, because I'll get lots of meter doing this. I'll get lots of meter, lots of full charge shots. So not bad. Meter gain isn't a problem. The CPU was kind enough to let me just have a point. So where does it get bad for Kamek? Well, let's look at his flats. Because from right here, they're not very good. I am hitting the hardest angle I can on these flats, and they will go to center. This means I can't do cross courts with my flats. And of course, if I'm doing down the line, they are not a very fast shot to begin with, which means my opponent will be able to react no matter what flat I hit. Even single tap flats, which are supposed to have more angle, as a whole, single taps do have more angle than their double tap counterparts. But in Kamek's case, his double tap flats and his single tap flats have the same angle. So there's no point in using the single tap flat on Kamek's kit. And to be honest, because of how slow the double tap flat is itself, there's no point in using the double tap flat. So we're stuck using only our slice and our topspin. But the problem with topspin is that against faster shots, it will not be as fast. So whenever you're up here volleying, all you can do is press the slice button as Kamek. But Kamek has really bad angles. Bowser, just let me square that. If the CPU wasn't playing so back, or far back, it'd be able to contest me at the net. But since this is just how the CPU plays, it means it's gonna let me score some freebies eventually. But yeah, from right here, Kamek has no angles. Do you see how the slice didn't really go cross court until after it made it past the T-line? That's what we're dealing with here. Oh, alright, we're good. Thank you, Bowser. Thank you, my lord. So basically, from the T-line, Kamek has no offensive pressure. Opponents should feel free to pretty much walk up to the T and start, you know, just getting Kamek's face. Because what is Kamek going to do about it? Because against most characters that would play up at T-line, including Luigi, Peach, Toadette, Dry Bones even, Kamek's not going to be able to hit past them. Because their range is good enough to just say, nah. Just say nah to Kamek. Especially Waluigi. Waluigi and Bowser, if this Bowser were playing up here on the T-line versus me, I would not stand any chance whatsoever. But since the Bowser's playing in the back of the court on grass, he's giving me more chances than I deserve. So you would think you'd be able to play baseline as Kamek, but herein lies the problem, is that Kamek's angles are not good enough. If you're gonna play baseline in any mode, you need to make sure that you at least have either the power or the angle to do so, of which Kamek does not. So we're stuck here with a character that doesn't have any angle. The curves suck, especially compared to Boo or Blooper. These are both two very terrible shots compared to the other characters that can do funny curves with their shots. So unfortunately, Kamek has a very limited moveset. There's my cross-court lob. Not the best. It goes right there. Most other lobs would probably put Bowser more in the corner. So Kamek has no options, really, from anywhere. And I would say, just as an aside, flat would be, like single tap flat would be the worst shot in the game if it wasn't for the fact that single tap topspin was the worst shot in the game. As you can see, it has no angle. Oh god, and that's gonna go out, yep.
Out. 15-30.
And it has no power. Your opponent should not be threatened at any point by Kamek hitting a topspin. It doesn't matter when, where, or how much charge Kamek has on that topspin. Your opponent is probably just going to be able to deflect it. Either way.
30-40.
So this leads to a lot of matchups where Kamek just gets plainly walled out. Kamek can't really do too much against most of the bigger characters in this game. Well, actually every big character in this game will not give a flying magic spell about whatever Kamek can do. Waluigi, Bowser, Chain Chomp, Luigi, none of these characters should even let Kamek score a single point. If I'm being honest, that is how rough this matchup gets. Or that's how rough Kamek gets. Characters legit have 100-0 matchups on Kamek. Kamek PD, 100 in PD's favor. Kamek Bowser, 100 in Bowser's favor. Kamek Waluigi, still 100 in Waluigi's favor. Even on simple mode, where Waluigi is one of the worst characters in the game, Waluigi should not be getting scored on, because Kamek can't angle past most walls, or what you might consider to be a wall in this game, a defensive wall. The wall Luigi, as it were. So, that's where Kamek currently stands. You pretty much have to just keep slicing, but if you keep slicing on your mix-up character, you're not gonna get anywhere. Nobody's gonna be falling for that curve. Most of Kamek's shots are reactable entirely. You don't have to worry about Kamek mixing you up that much. Unless you're playing standard and Kamek is trying to go for charge mix-up, trying to get you on the charge. You don't have to worry about it. The only way Kamek is going to score a point, realistically, is if his ball hits the net and it clips, and it pretty much turns his shot into a drop. And by the way, I didn't cover it, but as you can imagine, Kamek has the worst angled drop in the game. Bar none, just about. And, yeah. That's your dual curve, floaty mess of a character that doesn't really do anything it was designed to set out to do. No mix-ups, no curves, no game plan really to go off of with how bad his everything is. I didn't even touch on his speed. I mean, his speed is fine, but his range is still pretty pitiful, which means he's going to be tripping up a lot more than he should, really. Because I've seen Kamek sometimes just, you know, trip up on a ball that's practically under his cloak. You know, maybe Kamek should spend a little more time hitting the books, less on the tennis court. Or get a magic spell that lets his aim be a little better. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully I didn't babble on for too long. And as always, like and subscribe. If you want to see more, I will be back with more. Whatever characters I feel like choosing. I will be taking suggestions for characters people want me to make a video on. And yeah, I will see you all next time on Not Hooky Hour. On whatever I called this at the start of the show. Whatever it'll be called on YouTube. That's what we're going with. Alright. See ya. Bye.